Hi there. We live in one big world, animals and people. Now humans have many more chances to help themselves when something unpredictable and disastrous happens. But animals cannot do all this without our support. So let's watch top 15 of human kind-heartedness when people save animals that need their help. The family going along the road found a dog at the landfill. The dog was a bit frightened, but being very hungry, came closer to the man. It was obvious that the little creature is covered with ticks. The kind people decided to take the pup home. There they gave him some food, washed out all his ticks, and dried him with a blow dryer. Then the rescuers combed out the rest of the ticks. The dog was likely to know that the people were trying to help and let them do what they needed to do. Then they sprayed the pup with special medicine to prevent new parasites. 20 days later, he had no ticks or fleas and was absolutely healthy. Among the huge woodpile, a little puppy was crying for help.
Yeah, I can hear.
The people from Happy Dog Project, who had heard the little thing, were trying to find him. At last, they did it. The pup didn't look injured or hurt, and the rescuers just took him out. They gave him some drink and took the guy with them. But if they hadn't found him, the creature could have had a very poor destiny. Rescue Animals TN Center in Vietnam spend their days helping animals that get in trouble. This time, they had to deal with a very angry pregnant cat that had got into one man's house. The cat was very aggressive and didn't want to leave the place she had chosen. The team spent a lot of time in the house until the cat smelled the food in the trap and didn't come in. The people took the cat to their center where several nice kittens, found in other places, were waiting for good care too. The cat was very angry about the kittens, and the rescuers had to put them apart with the cat. I hope this cat got the love she needed and stopped being so angry. Canopy Cat Rescue Team one day had to save the fluffy kitty that spent almost a week in a very high fir tree. People had periodically been hearing her cries, but found her in the tree several days later. To take the animal down, the rescuer had to use special equipment, but the cat was so scared that she went higher for about 20 feet, making the operation more complicated. At last, the man got to the little hooligan and they both went down. What a happy rescue! This very angry bat was left on the doorsteps of Wildlife Aid Center. The poor creature had got stuck to the fly strip, and the vet had to remove all the sticky substance without hurting the animal. The woman spent a great amount of time doing it because it was vitally important to be gentle with the wings. After doing this, the vets left the bat in the incubator to feel warmer. They gave the creature some water with the help of a syringe and fed it with caterpillars. At night, Simon went outside and released the bat to the wild. Cobras are the typical neighbor for the majority of Indians. But sometimes these snakes come too close to the people's dwellings and they have to be removed. This serpent was found near one house in Ahmednagar. The cobra was very aggressive with these upwards position and creeping cape. But when professionals get to work, even such a creature can be calmed down. The rescuer took the cobra by its tail and took it in the bag. They brought the snake to the wild and released it. Here's one more cobra that was saved. Indian lady snake rescuer Nazira Chitti did her best to help the poor but extremely venomous creature. The cobra hid in the place where the goats were kept. Firstly, the woman took away all the animals from that place and then started her mission. Touching it with bare hands, she was trying to make the snake leave from the place it felt really comfortable. So the woman with slightly pushing was pushing the cobra from the spot. At last, the rescuer managed to take the snake by its tail and with the help of the stick, put it in the bag. This woman was really skillful and brave, and finally, everything was okay. Here is one more Indian organization that saves wild animals' lives. This time, Rescue Charitable Trust, India, rushed to save the leopard that got into a food trap. Firstly, the vets shot the wildcat with a sleeping mixture to calm it down. While the animal was sleeping, the rescuers took off the trap. Then, they put the leopard in a transport cage and brought it to the clinic where the doctors had to deal with its injuries. Hope it would be okay. Sometimes animals suffer because of losing their homes. So, this guy happened to rescue baby squirrels. The tree they lived in was cut down, and the creature badly needed to be cared for. In one of the logs, the guys found a bunch of baby squirrels that were so little that they even had no fur.
Oh, look at it, dude. Look, it's like yawning. Do you see that?
The rescuers took them very gently and put them in a basket. Then they took them to a rescue shelter where specialists would help them to survive. This little girl was called Varna. She is a juvenile female gray-headed flying fox. Some people found Varna on the road and tried to put her in the nearest tree in the park, but she turned out not to be able to climb up. So the rescuer was called. Varna didn't seem to feel one leg well, nor thumb, wrist, or wing. The woman gave her some grapes, melon, and sweet water. She put the creature in a warmer place and arranged going to the vet. Hoped this nice lady would be okay. Matthew Payne, the adventurer from the UK, found a little bird called Turnstone trapped by a fishing net and hurried to rescue the poor thing. Matthew, armed with scissors, cut off all the net very carefully so as not to harm the little guy. When he at last untangled the bird, he set it free. The man was really worried if the poor thing had some injuries or not. Unfortunately, the bird seemed to have problems with walking correctly and flying. Matthew took it home to let it have a rest. There, the bird felt better and even tried to fly, but not for long distance. So the rescuer decided to take him to the rescue center. Unfortunately, the bird turned out not to be able to fly anymore, but he was sure to have tasty food and good care in the special enclosure for birds. The humpback whale got in a gill net. Panicked, this gentle giant was fiercely fighting to survive. It happened in the Gulf of California, and the crew of Sea Shepherd Conservation Society hurried to help the unlucky animal. It was a rather difficult task to untangle such a big creature. The people approached the whale in the boat and started to take off the nets with the help of sticks and hooks, but they couldn't cut off the net completely from the mammal's tail. So, the animal went to the open sea with the remains of the net on its tail. The tangled marine animals is a great problem. Two divers rushed to help the tangled seals. It's a rather dangerous thing, as seals can be aggressive. So they had to catch the creatures from their car. They caught the animal by the scoop net and gently started to cut the ropes. They did it very quickly, and now all they needed to do is to set the creature free. When it happened, the frightened seal rushed to the water. The rescuers from Hope for Paws found these two dogs on the street of Watts, California. They'd been living there for about 6 months. The dogs were mom and daughter. When the rescuer approached the dogs, they let her come closer, as she had some food for them. It took some time while Abby and Sarah, as the woman called them, trusted her. Abby let the rescuer put a leash on her, but Sarah let them take her to the car without it. In the center, the girls felt very well and let the people do everything they had to do. The dogs turned out to be very playful and nice. Hope they would be okay. Simon from Wildlife Aid was called out to rescue a fox in a builder's yard. The poor fox fell into a gap between a wall and a fence. On coming to the place, he thought it would be a really hard work to take the animal, but Simon was really lucky.
That's the main thing. Come on, fella. That was dead lucky. Dead lucky.
He skillfully pulled the fox out with the grasper very quickly. The animal was frightened, and Simon had to be really careful not to let the fox bite him. At last, he managed to grasp it with his hands. The rescuer released it nearby, where the fox could find his way home. That's all for now. Hope you understand what a great job all these people do day by day to help poor animals. Help them with your subscriptions, likes, and donations. And of course, do remember, animals very often help us to feel happy and laugh. Just watch the video about the funniest cats and dogs on Animal Like People channel and have lots of fun. See you!